Able antimatter. Hi there. Today I want to talk about how popular culture is feminizing men, how popular culture is making men weak, and what are the consequences of this. So when you make men weak, evil is permitted to thrive. Now, what kind of evil, or let's define evil in a general sense? In my opinion, it would be people lying, cheating, hurting other people, just being stupid. Stupidity is a type of evil, if you ask me. So when all this, let's say, evil is not kept in check, we have the results that we have today in society. And what happens is that there must be an order, there must be a way of keeping things or people in check. Not everybody's different. Some people are, we can say, good, bad, have good values, different values depending of where you live. The thing is that men are being shamed for just being men, and this has a lot to do with the media. It's a lot bigger. It's like a very complex thing, but I just want to touch on this from a more organic, personal perspective, let's say. Let's talk about the values of being a good man. So a good man is assertive, wants clarity, doesn't like ambiguity, just wants to have things clear, a clear picture of things. Also, a man should be able to be a leader, to take charge in the sense of if there's a problem, a situation, a man should generally be cool-headed and be able or have the mental fortitude to confront the situation, even if it's a lost cause. Just confronting adversity is part of being a man. Speaking of that, confrontation is another important part of being a man. In this feminization of society, confrontation is frowned upon, is looked down on, like it's something bad. It's not necessarily bad. It just depends how you use it. Now, one of the big differences between men and women is that women are non-confrontational. They're not so confrontational as much as man. But what do men do? They see a problem, something they don't like, and they confront it. They hopefully they talk about it, not get into, a fist fight or something like that. But they talk about it, they discuss the issue, and the purpose is to find a solution. And a lot of times, between men, we can have an argument, even a fight, or be close to being physical. And then once the issue is solved, we can be best of friends. That's very common amongst men. Now, going towards the feminization of men, I want to make clear that this is not to bash women. And that's very sad that women have been weaponized against men. Women are the most beautiful beings, and it's just men would do anything for women, real men. Biologically, we are conditioned, we're wired to serve, protect women. So, elaborating on the confrontation issue, I just want to point out that that is one of the biggest differences between the psychology of men and women. Now, men like to confront things. They're upfront about it. They see something they don't like, or they have an issue with something, and they will figure it out. If it's a person, they're going to have words with that person. Maybe if it's another guy, maybe even get physical. But the tendency or the idea behind this is to nip it in the bud, right? So before things get worse or the situation escalates, you want to stop it in its tracks. A lot of times, men can get in an argument with another guy and even duke it out. Get physical. It can get really intense, but then it's all fine. There's a solution to the problem, and the two parties involved can actually even become friends. Now, this is different with women. Women do not, by nature, are not confrontational. They tend not to be confrontational, so they do things behind others' backs. They're very manipulative. I think that's the key word there, manipulation. Not that men can't be manipulative, it's just that it's more common in my opinion, it's more common in women, just because of the physical fact that men are stronger and they have evolved, we have evolved to use our physical strength in this way. Women don't have that same physical strength, so they have to depend on their wits, their mind, and there is, speaking of course, there's wonderful women. There's beautiful, wonderful women with wonderful hearts. But there's the negative side. Just like there's negative men, there's toxic women. But the toxicity of women is very, very dangerous in the sense that it's insidious. And I know I'm not going to be popular for this, but this is a men's health channel, so it is what it is. Toxic women tend to be insidious. They're evil. If they want to get you, they will destroy your life if possible, and cheat and lie and put everybody against you. It's not common that men would do that. Now, feminized men, that's the thing, that because men have become feminized, they have adopted this toxicity, this female toxicity. I guess to summarize in a way, we can say that toxic people are the problem, be it men or women. It's the toxic people, the lack of good people. Now, why the focus on men? Because men are the ones that set order, that put order to things. Why? Because they're stronger and they're not afraid of confrontation. It's part of our wiring, our biological makeup to be this way. So the enforcers, you would say, the people that enforce the laws and justice, they are naturally men. It's not that women can't do it, but they have this different kind of babying, coddling deal going on with people. And that's great for children, that's great for teachers, that's great for certain environments. But when it comes to applying justice, not punishing, I don't want to say, but in the sense of criminals and having them put in jail, put away, that's a whole different topic. But we can see how, because everybody's touchy-feely and worried about people's feelings, justice has been set aside. And a lot of people are living miserable lives because of that, because nobody is held accountable. And what I mean is toxic people are not held accountable for their actions. All right, so as a final thought, I would just like to say that if you take away men's strength and ability to enforce justice, you're going to have a chaotic world where anything goes, and the most evil, cruelest, vicious, demonic-minded people are going to run things. And what do you know? Oh, look around. How are things now? Could it be that it is the feminization of the society has caused this in a way? Well, I just wanted to touch on this topic that I feel is important to me. Please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take care.